The air was thick with tension as kids poured out of Magnolia Middle School. Among them, 13-year-old Zariah rolled quietly in her wheelchair, her face calm, eyes sharp. Born with spina bifida, she'd long accepted her condition. What she hadn't accepted was how people stared, as though she was invisible or, worse, broken. Zariah had long since learned to brace with the whispers, the looks, and the subtle cruelty that came with being both black and disabled. But today was different. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notification bell to get notified for more. Share to friends. Where are you watching from? Please tell us in the comments. We love seeing how far our story goes. As she made her way down the sidewalk, books stacked in her lap, 3 8th-grade boys blocked her path. Bryce, the ringleader, tall, blonde, always sneering, kicked one of her wheels gently, just enough to spin her slightly off course. "Hey, rowboat chair," he laughed. "You racing or just blocking traffic again?" His 2 friends, Marcus and Logan, burst into laughter. Zariah said nothing. She tightened her grip on the wheels and tried to maneuver around them. Bryce stepped in front again. "Oh, I get it," Marcus chimed in. "She's too good to talk to us now. Thinks she's better just 'cause the school gave her some tech wheels." She glanced up, her eyes unwavering. "Move." Bryce leaned down. "Or what?" Without waiting for a reply, he snatched one of her books and tossed it across the pavement. "Oops." He grinned, arms wide like he was doing her a favor. "You gonna wheel over and get it?" Zariah looked past them. No teachers around. The street was eerily quiet. She could feel something bubbling in her chest. But it wasn't fear. It was years of silence, of people speaking over her, of being underestimated. She took a deep breath, calmly removed her gloves, and placed them on her lap. Then she clicked the side of her chair and pulled a black gym band from under the seat cushion. The boys laughed. "What is that?" Logan asked, smirking. Zariah didn't answer. She looped the band around her arms. Slowly, deliberately, she pushed herself forward. Bryce stepped closer again, mocking. "What? You gonna sling that thing like a ninja?" She didn't blink. She twisted her wrist and launched the band at his ankles. It wrapped fast, and with one swift yank, Bryce collapsed like a sack of bricks. The sound of his elbows hitting the concrete echoed. Before the other boys could react, Zariah spun her chair with force, slamming one wheel into Marcus's knee. He stumbled back, clutching it, face twisted in pain. "Man, what the—" But Logan barely got the words out before Zariah grabbed her book bag, swung it hard with one hand, and smacked it into his side. He dropped like a puppet with cut strings, groaning. 3 minutes. That's all it took. 3 minutes of precise, practiced motion. Zariah didn't need legs to defend herself. She'd trained in adaptive self-defense for the last 2 years. Her mom, a retired Army medic, made sure of it. As the boys rolled on the ground, crying out and trying to comprehend what had just happened, Zariah calmly retrieved her book. Her heart was racing, but her face stayed composed. By then, a crowd had gathered, mostly other students. Phones were out. Whispers and gasps filled the air. Did she just take out all 3 of them? "Yo, she's in a wheelchair. She just bodied Bryce." Zariah didn't need validation. She adjusted her gloves, turned her chair, and started rolling again. But then she paused. "Next time," she said loud enough for everyone to hear, "ask before you touch someone's chair, or their piece." A voice in the back shouted, "That's right." The crowd began to murmur, with new respect. Some even clapped. Later that evening, the video hit social media. By midnight, it had 800,000 views. The caption read, "Disabled girl gets bullied," but 3 minutes later, followed by a string of shocked emojis. The school administration called Zariah and her mom in the next morning. But instead of scolding her, the principal thanked her for staying calm and defending herself without lasting injury to anyone. Bryce and his friends were suspended. A new initiative for anti-bullying and disability awareness was announced. News outlets picked it up. Local papers ran headlines. Middle school student in wheelchair stands up to bullies and wins. But Zariah didn't care about the fame. What mattered to her was that other kids saw it. Other girls like her. Other boys in chairs. The silent ones. The overlooked ones. The ones people thought couldn't fight back. She got dozens of DMs from students across the country. I thought I was alone. I didn't think I had power. Thank you for showing us what strength really looks like. Zariah's mom tucked her in that night, brushing her braids with slow fingers. I saw the video, she said softly. You were brave. But next time, don't forget to call me first. Zariah laughed. You'd have been proud. Admit it. Her mother smiled. Baby, I'm always proud. But remember, our strength isn't just in what we do when attacked. It's in how we teach the world to see us. Moral lesson. This story reminds us that courage isn't about physical strength. It's about standing tall in the face of cruelty, even when you're seated. Society often overlooks people with disabilities, especially when they're young and black. But every soul has power, every voice deserves respect, and no one should be treated as less than. Never assume someone's weakness because of how they look. You just might get the lesson of your life.